I am here today to talk about princesses and what that means in our identity in Christ. Well, hey y'all, welcome to This Moment. I'm Jamie. It's so nice to have you with me. I want to talk to you about princesses and what it means to be a princess of God. So today my girls actually got these little princesses in their lunch from a local fast food restaurant, and they got these princesses, and my oldest daughter just kept saying over and over, "She's the bravest princess." And it made me so happy. Like, I pray that she always cares more about the inner strength and beauty of a princess instead of what's on the outside. So my daughter asks me over and over and over again. She'll ask me, she'll ask my husband, "Mommy, am I a princess?" And yes, you are a princess. You're God's little princess. That's what I tell her over and over and over again. And I know, and she'll ask me, she'll say, "Mommy, was I born a princess?" And I'll say, "Yeah, you were born a princess. You were born God's daughter, so you're a princess." And I know that her 4-year-old mind doesn't really understand the depth of everything that I'm telling her, but I pray that if I tell her over and over and over again, that it'll stick in her subconscious and that she will realize how important it is that she is a child of God and that she's a co-heir with Christ. Because I just want her to know deep down in her soul that she is a princess of God. So when we talk about being princesses and co-heirs with Christ, that verse comes from Romans 8 verse 17. And this is what it says in the NIV. "Now if we are children, then we are heirs, heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ, if indeed we share in his suffering, in order that we may also share in his glory." So we serve a God that is the King of Kings. He is the Almighty. And Jesus is his son. If we are co-heirs with Jesus, the Son of God, and we are called children of God, then sisters, that makes us princesses. And I want us to grab a hold to that, because there's so many ideas and conceptions and preconceived notions about what it means to be a princess. And I think one of the things that we always think about when we say that, when we say, "Oh, she's a princess," we think about beauty, but we also think about this specialness, this set apartness of that girl, of that woman, that she is something different. And my daughter was talking about that little princess that she got. She kept saying, "She's the most brave princess." And I think when we are considering that we are princesses of God, we are going to have to be brave. And we're going to have to be a special kind of brave. Because princesses, when you talk about a kingdom being under attack, the princess is the most vulnerable, because the enemy always wants to capture the princess. If the enemy can capture the princess, then all of the other people will be afraid, because if the princess could be taken, then so can I. And the enemy knows that, and the enemy knows how important a princess is. And if we think about the fact that being princesses of God makes the devil our enemy, he is trying to capture us. He is trying to take us away from the kingdom. He is trying to instill fear in the other people that look at us as princesses of God, because he wants to make the kingdom weak. But guess what? He cannot make this kingdom weak, because we serve the King of Kings. He's not just any old king. He's the King of Kings. And that means we're not just any old princess. We are the princesses of princesses. Like, we are the best. And what I always tell my daughter is, it's okay to be scared as long as you're also brave. And when we are children of God, yes, we are we are going to be scared. There are things that we're going to face that are going to be hard. The enemy is going to try and cut us down at every turn. But we can be brave because we serve the King of Kings. Like, we don't have to be scared because we can be brave. I just think that lifts my heart up from a place of fear to a place of victory as a princess of God. So princesses also have greater responsibilities. If you think about being a member of the royal family, you have to go and see the territories of the kingdom. You are responsible for goodwill among the kingdom. You are responsible for all kinds of things. And as princesses of God, we have responsibilities. Our number one responsibility is to share the gospel and increase the kingdom. That's our number one responsibility as princesses of God. But there's also perks of being a princess. So we're special. Princesses are special. They're set apart. They're different. And we as children of God are set apart and separated from the rest of the world. There's a Disney princess movie, Mulan 2. I don't know if you've seen it. I hadn't seen it until my daughter got it. But there's a song in there where these three princesses are singing about being like other girls. And they just want to like run in the fields and take their shoes off and stuff. But when we as princesses of God think about being like other girls, we should want to be princesses still. We shouldn't crave being like other girls, because we want to be set apart and we want to look different to the world so that they will see God alive and active in us. Also, princesses have special clothes. We are clothed in strength and dignity. If you look in Proverbs 31, we are clothed in strength and dignity. And if you look at Isaiah 61:10, it says this:
I delight greatly in the Lord. My soul rejoices in my God, for he has clothed me with garments of salvation and arrayed me with a robe of his righteousness. As a bridegroom adorns his head like a priest, and as a bride adorns herself with jewels.
And that is amazing, to be robed in righteousness, because Christ made that sacrifice for us. He bought us as princesses of God. Like, sometimes I just don't have the words for what that means. But also, we have tiaras. If you look in James 1:12, it says that we will receive the crown of life that God has promised us if we persevere. So if we are brave, if we are the brave princesses of God and we persevere, then we will get those crowns, the crown of life. That's better than any jewel, because that is the opportunity to live forever with Christ and God in heaven and in the new earth. And sister, I just want to talk to you about being a princess of peace. If we're co-heirs with Jesus, to me that means we can also be co-heirs of that peace. And I feel like women in particular, our peace is attacked all the time. And I think that might be because we are more emotional. We are tied to our emotions a lot. And sometimes I personally let my emotions kind of run away with me. So being a co-heir, a princess of peace, like that is something that is so special to who we are as princesses of God. So we can look at what that peace really looks like. So if we look at John 14:27.
Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Then we also see in John 16:33, I have told you these things so that you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. And then finally, in Colossians 3:15, we see how that peace can change our hearts. It says, let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace, and be thankful.
So my daughter will put on her princess dress and she'll put on her crown and her jewelry, and she'll ask me as she spins and twirls in the floor, "Mommy, am I a princess?" And as I'm answering her that, yes, baby, you are a princess, I remind myself that I'm also answering me. Because how often have I said to God, "God, am I your princess? Am I your child? Do I belong to you? Do you see me?" And God has said, "Yes, child, I see you. Yes, you're a princess. Yes, you are beautiful and loved." So I want you to remember that today. I want you to remember that you are a princess, that you are a child of the Most High King. I hope that you were blessed today so that you can be a blessing. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button down there. Give us a big thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you again soon.